Hey guys, put some fucking here.
Fucking kill you. Outcasts, vagabonds, and free spirits, good now, and welcome back to Baconspiracies. I'm your host, Chop, and I hope this piece of media finds you well. We have new episodes every Saturday, and you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Today, I am joined by not two, but three people. We're breaking the mold a little bit. We have Schlevvy returning for another episode. That's your cue to say hello.
Yeah, that is my cue. Hey guys.
We have SouthernMoose. I swear to God, if I have to do this every time.
Yeah, hi. I'm sorry, I forgot.
And we have Bobwhite.
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Pretty good. Can't complain yet.
I'm pretty swag.
I just subscribed to my own YouTube channel, guys.
Hell yeah, brother. I used to like my own tweets. Like every
Dude,
time I
that's
tweet,
fire.
I like my own tweet. It was pretty sad.
That's kind of
Yeah.
embarrassing. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
You couldn't fucking torture that.
I
out of me.
really just did it at first, for it to be a joke, because like my other friends, they were like, "Did you like your own tweet?" And I was like, "Yes, I did.
Well, I mean, you tweeted it, so therefore you liked it.
I do. I did like it."
Oh, fuck, we're already down
You're
one.
just licking your own balls over here.
Alright, guys, we're gonna have a fun little game to play for the audience. How many cans can
Yep.
I go through?
Oh
Number
my
two.
God. Moose is right. We are gonna play a fun little. There's gonna be a fun little drinking game that the audience can play. I don't trust any of these motherfuckers. So every time that I have to put in a bleep because a real name was said, take a shot. Actually, no. Take a sip of beer. I don't want anybody to die from alcohol poisoning from this
I was
episode.
about to say. Wait, what do you mean?
Huh?
Just the audience, right?
Hey Jeff. Oh shit. Sorry guys, you have to take a shot.
Fuck
goddamn.
Jeff. Oh my god. Am I gonna have to bleep out every name? Or are you guys gonna get fucking
Dadgummit,
go through
I'm Jeff
process of
Bezos.
elimination
You
when
just-
say random
they-
names
you just-
until somebody
You just gave up
until I
the
have to
fact that
bleep
I'm
it
Jeff
out?
Bezos.
I don't think there's enough time to do every name. Just spend the entire podcast.
Yeah, you're so right, Robert.
Jeff, Mark, Willie,
Ooh, that's a
Savannah.
good idea. I'm gonna search a list of just
Brian.
names.
No, you're gonna shut the fuck up because I still haven't even done that. I still haven't said what we're gonna
Zach.
talk about today.
Top names over the last 100 years. Here we go.
Johnny,
James,
Jackson.
Michael, Robert, John, David, William, Richard.
Preston.
Who names their
Oh my
kid
God.
Richard? Who names their kid Richard?
Okay, so
Actually, I have a better idea. How about instead, I'll just start calling you guys random names, and you just don't bleep any of them out and let them figure out which one's the real name.
fuck
Who,
it.
do we?
Why not?
Do we
I don't
I'm
think.
just kidding. I'm not gonna commit to that.
Okay,
I was about
okay.
to say they'll figure out my name.
Oh
It's
my
Jeff
God.
Bezos.
Anyways, so we're switching gears for this episode a little bit. What I have in store for us is we're gonna delve into the treasure trove of paranormal bullshit on the internet, and that is the X board, otherwise known as the paranormal board on 4chan. Now, there are occasional gold mines in here, but at the end of the day, it is 4chan. If you don't know what that is, which you're on the internet, I would assume most of you do, it's an image board website where you can post threads and talk about random shit. And it's other than people keeping relevant topics to boards on the site, it's completely unmoderated. So it gets a little ridiculous sometimes. And we've got to
Yeah, I
search.
can't wait to see Sexy Ghost has sex with fucking dead slave. That'll be fun.
We gotta sift through a bunch of shit to get to
It'll be fun
to get
editing.
to the corn.
There's gonna be a video of a guy
Excuse me?
jumping. There's gonna be a video of a guy shooting
Dude.
himself, and there's gonna be what looks like a ghost coming out of
Let's
him.
look at the corn. Let's look at the corn one.
We could-
where it's just
oh,
all
yeah.
cornfields and shit.
I
wow.
mean Cornhub.
Yeah,
No, wait,
Cornhub.
what?
I was on Cornhub last episode, dude.
Wait, what?
Cornhub 24/7.
dude.
Wait,
I
you
know,
don't have the
right?
tab up in 24/7?
I got that live stream, and I'm one of the top content creators on Cornhub.
Why would I
And feet
believe
finder,
that?
check me out, Being Eaten Bobwhite, Feet Finder.
Already with the feed advertisements. You know what? Now that I think about that,
What the fuck?
you guys have had 5. Well, now it would be 6 episodes to purchase feed pics from Southern Moose. If you haven't put 2 and 2 together, he was Buff Barney on episode 4. Why have you guys not purchased his feed pics after I put so much work into advertising him at the end of that episode?
Yeah, I can't keep selling them to my grandma, guys. Come on.
I can't afford buying enough for everybody. Anyway, so
Plenty of footage around.
the stories that we're going to go through today from X, they're scattered few and far between. Some of them have been reposted on other sites like Reddit, because how 4chan works is there are only so many threads and images up at a time before they get locked and eventually archived. So what's on here is fresh, and a lot of it's fucking stupid. Let me just give you an example of stuff that we're not going to go through today. This little gem right here. Hello, X. I want to describe something that only happened to me when I was just a very young child, age 4 to 6.
Oh no.
I was afraid of the pitch black darkness as a child. It made me very difficult to sleep. I often needed a nightlight to sleep, but my parents did not like me leaving the room light on. They protested that it wasted energy. I often hated sleeping in the dark so much that I would try to force myself to sleep, as to avoid dealing with the darkness. This phenomenon only occurred about 3 times in my life as a child. I would open and close my eyes repeatedly until I fell asleep, and then I would see a brief instance of total complete darkness, consciously, cognitively, only lasting about 2 to 3 seconds. Then I would wake up in the morning seeing broad daylight. Kinda like skipping the night in Minecraft. No fucking joke on that. I genuinely experienced a time skip. Have any other Anons experienced this as a child?
Yo, did he finally sleep for once in his life?
Yo, was that a One Piece reference? Time skip?
Wait,
Who just described sleeping?
my guy's like, I closed my eyes and I woke up and it was morning. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know what?
Dude.
I have experienced that. I need to talk to that guy. Maybe we can,
As a matter of fact, yeah.
I can
Get him
relate
in.
We
to
should
him. Get him in.
get him on the podcast.
Now
Oh
for
my
our
God.
surprise guest, No Sleep Man.
For those of you that don't know, on 4chan, most people refer to themselves and each other as Anons, short for anonymous, just because it's an anonymous message board. But yeah, that's just an example of stuff that we are going to try to avoid, and there is a lot of it here. Do you believe in the flat Earth? Personally, I'm more of an Earth centrist, and it's a picture of a semicircle.
Nah, dude, the Earth is a calzone.
Now, do we think that's real, or do we think that's a fucking troll?
Okay, first off, the Earth is a velociraptor. Okay.
Nah, calzone, dude. Think about it. You got that crust that's kind of hot, kind of cold on the outside. On the inside, it's fucking magma.
I would love a calzone right now.
God damn it.
Dude, you know what'd be really good? A fucking shrimp calzone. Oh my god, dude. Oh.
You guys are all wrong. The Earth isn't flat or round or a calzone. It's fucked.
You
Okay,
should
I'm
insert a
sitting...
laugh track after you say that.
I
That'd
have-
be really funny.
Shut the
I
fuck
have-
up.
I have proof I just sent you of the Earth being a velociraptor. And I will send it to-
Velociraptor.
I will send it to the others as well.
Just put it in general, dude. We have a
Oh,
fucking Discord
shoot.
for a
Yeah.
reason.
Or
You
put it
idiot.
in the,
Yes, thank you for adding pictures that I must put on the audio only podcast, Moose. Very cool.
You're
Why do you have-
welcome.
why are you, what?
Hey guys,
Audio
check out his
only? Oh,
YouTube
yeah.
channel. If you're on Spotify, just go to his YouTube channel and you can see it. I just tried to scroll down on your stream. I'm just gonna let you know that now.
God, you're fucking drunk.
I'm Moose.
Anyways, so I'm just gonna go through a couple of these and then we'll discuss them. This one that is from a few years ago
Holy
that
cow.
got reposted from 4chan to Reddit, and it has been archived for a very long time, but it's one of the ones that I remember and I've been wanting to share for a while. So, when I was little, my dad would ask his friend to babysit me sometimes. My mom wasn't there growing up, so my dad had to rely on other people to look after me when he couldn't be at home. And one of my dad's friends, I'll call him John, told me a story one night that still sends shivers up my spine. It went like this. I used to be a truck driver, and I was driving a rig out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Oregon. I had to make a delivery the next morning, so I decided to just drive through the night. It was maybe 1 a.m, so no one was on the roads. I hadn't seen another car in probably 100 miles. After a while of driving in solitude, the whole sky lit up like it was daylight. I instantly slammed on the brakes, having no clue what the fuck was going on. I could see everything, from the surrounding pine forest and mountains to the 2-lane road ahead of me. It stayed like this for a good 10 seconds. Whatever was happening definitely wasn't lightning or some kind of weather. The light wasn't flickering at all. I came to the realization that if it wasn't a natural phenomenon, the next option was an atomic bomb. I hunkered down thinking this could be my death, anticipating nuclear devastation that never came. There was no sound, no blast wave. I sat in the road like this waiting for maybe 5 minutes before deciding there was nothing to do but keep driving. I figured it was a meteor or some kind of crazy space shit. About 2 miles up the road, I came across a car with its flashers on, stopped in the middle of the road. I stopped a good distance away from it. There was no space to go around. The front end of the car was crumpled like they hit something. I figured they probably hit a deer that got spooked whenever the meteor went over and ran into the road. I got out of the truck to check on the people inside to see if they were okay. As I got closer, I saw that the driver was sitting on the ground by the passenger side door. Him being there as opposed to the driver's side struck me as odd, but it wasn't really anything worrying. He had his knees up, his head resting on him. Concerned, I called from about 10 feet away. "Hey buddy, you alright?" Something about the whole situation felt weird. Listening to my gut, I didn't get any closer to the man. "My head is killing me," he groaned. He didn't lift his head up, so it came out muffled. "Did you hit a deer?" I called out. I was getting more and more uneasy. Something just felt wrong, but I couldn't figure out exactly what it was. The guy then pleaded, "Can you help me? I think I hurt my head." I took a step forward, but my instincts were going apeshit. I looked at everything again, and that's what I noticed it. The fucking car was all wrong. It looked like what someone thinks a car looks like, if that makes sense. It had all the right parts, but nothing extra. Like a cheap Hot Wheels knockoff, all wonky and wrong. I directed my eyes to the back of the car, where not only was there no license plate, but no trunk. It was just one solid piece of material with taillights on it. No manufacturer, no model names. I know cars, and I've never seen anything like this. I inspected the car, hoping to find at least one normal detail, but there was nothing. No hubcaps, not even a tailpipe. Just the shape of a car, wheels, headlights, and some windows. The car was my breaking point. Now I thought was the time to leave. I started to back up, and the man asked for help again. His voice had started to develop an aggressive tone. Again, I told him that I couldn't help him, and that I'd call a tow truck when I get to the next town. In response to this, he said, "I have a concussion. Please, I need your help." With that, he lifted his head from his knees to look at me. Something was very, very wrong with this guy's face. It took me a second to process what it was. Everything on his face was where it should have been, in its normal position, except for the fact that his eyes and mouth were on upside down. I sprinted faster than I ever had in my life back to my rig. Even so, as I frantically leapt into the truck and secured the door, the thing slammed into it behind me. How the fuck did he get there so fast? He knocked on the glass and smiled at me. Because his mouth was on upside down, it looked like he was screaming when he asked me to be let into the truck. I fucking floored the gas, not caring if I hit the guy or not. My truck easily pushed the car out of the way. Whatever it was light and made no sound when I hit it. Unfortunately, it's an anticlimactic ending. John got where he was going with no further problems. My dad knows the story, but I don't think he believes it. John, on the other hand, tells it to everyone he meets, so he obviously does. He's absolutely adamant about the guy being an alien. Years later, I heard about the Thatcher effect and nearly had a heart attack when I saw it. I showed one of the pictures to John and he wouldn't even look at it. He said it was exactly what the guy looked like. Try looking up an example for yourself. It's terrifying given some context. Moral of the story, beware aliens in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's just Bibb County, Alabama. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Just a fucking meth head, dude. That fucking Flacco will get you.
Let me just show y'all an example here. So the Thatcher effect is, if you look at this picture of Adele as an example that I'm going to post on the screen, it's pretty fucking...
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. That's fucking terrifying.
Thatcher effect or the Thatcher illusion is from Wikipedia. So, somebody might edit the rest of the article to say penis, cock, or whatever the fuck. Thatcher effect is a phenomenon where it becomes more difficult to detect local feature changes in an upside-down face, despite identical changes being obvious in an upright face. So, as you can see, when it's flipped upside down, they honestly look kind of normal. But when you flip them back right side up again, you can tell things are on upside down and it looks fucking nasty. So seeing that in person, again, this is from 4chan, so take it with a grain of salt. But seeing something like this in person, yeah, I'd shit myself too. So why the hell did you say it was Bibb County, Alabama? He said in the fucking beginning, middle of bumfuck nowhere, Oregon.
Nah, he fucking, the real paranormal shit here is he took a portal to the middle of fucking Bibb County, Alabama.
There's plenty of those around. I've been through a few.
This is r/no sleep, by the way. This is just creepypasta.
No, I know it's r/no sleep. However, it was posted on 4chan years ago, and I remember seeing it on 4chan.
It's still probably creepypasta, but still.
It could have been a crackhead, and then it also could have been a ball of lightning.
It was a disclaimer at the beginning. I wouldn't believe any of these right off the bat because they are all sourced from 4chan. And as fucking weird as X is, they did kind of birth a lot of very popularized scary stories. Like, if it wasn't for that one 4chan post about the back rooms,
it's true.
We wouldn't have had the backroom stories or games like Escape from the Backrooms. And
isn't a lot of creepypastas just stories that have been amped up to make a story from like real shit?
Yep, bastardized to no end. And you know what? The SCP Foundation, an entire fucking fandom dedicated to cataloging and categorizing anomalous objects that are somewhere in like the 6,000 to 8,000 worth of entries now, can all be traced back to one post on 4chan. Item number SCP-173, the original. The statue, like the concrete statue that's held in a facility where everybody has to like keep constant eye on it because it only moves when you're not looking at it. It's like a weeping angel.
Yeah, like the weeping angel from Doctor Who, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever people would go into its holding cell, they would have to go in like teams of 3 and have to alert each other before they blink because it was that fast. So what do you guys think of all this so far?
It's an interesting story.
Yeah, no.
I think it's just somebody that moved from Bibb County to middle of nowhere, Oregon. That's what I think.
Wormholes, bitch.
That's what we actually need to be looking into right now is wormholes.
We're not that big though.
Yeah, you're telling me a worm fucking went through that?
Yeah, exactly.
A worm?
You're telling me a worm made this hole? So we've got plenty of other stories here. We've got a little small one right here. Would somebody like to read this? Somebody else like to read this one?
No, I ain't reading.
In middle school, I always cried when they called on me to popcorn read, so I'm gonna say no.
God damn it. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. You signed up for yeah.
Oh, I got you. You.
What? We're not reading one word at a time. It took me a second to realize what you did.
I was waiting for the next person to go. There we go.
Want.
All right, Craig, it's your turn.
Yeah, literally. Craig,
you haven't talked at all this entire podcast. What is wrong with you?
Jesus Christ, why do you keep inviting this bum ass motherfucker to the podcast? He don't ever fucking say shit.
I said 2, bitches.
No, we're
You're
talking
not
about Craig,
Craig.
not you.
We're talking about Craig.
Craig is my recording bot. He's all of the audio that we have sourced for all 10 episodes of the Baconspiracies podcast has been because of this bot. So shout out to Craig. He doesn't talk much though.
Yeah, Craig's a bitch for real. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, don't talk shit about Craig like that.
Yeah, well, Craig owes me fucking money. So
since when?
Craig bought 3 albums of My Feet Pick. Okay, and he still hasn't paid me.
Fucking business. How about that?
Yeah, Schlevvy, you're not seeing that money. My ex-wife still owes me 10
You're
grand.
not Craig.
Wait, is Craig your ex-wife?
Damn, y'all finally figured it out. I'm so proud of you.
Also, my home is currently being renovated, and they waited to show up. They've had all day, and they waited to show up and start working until 5 minutes after we started.
No noise.
Hey, pass the fucking sheetrock stretcher, will ya?
Shut the fuck up. God, this episode is chaotic.
Well, yeah, you invited 3
Did
people.
you just eat into the fucking microphone? I swear to God.
All right, listeners, how many chips have I eaten? Because he just noticed.
That's the only one we've heard.
Oh no, my mic has picked up the other.
Oh my God.
I'm eating a good bag of chips right now. Not gonna lie.
Okay, you know what? Fuck it. You X-Files want to solve a real conspiracy? That's what 4chan users call other users that go on the X
Docs their
board.
address.
It's a restaurant.
Is that really?
So 1634 Coit, Grand Rapids, Michigan. That is Michigan,
Yeah,
right? And
that's not it. That's not even an address. What are you talking about?
Oh, I didn't read the rest.
1630. What the hell does that even mean? That's not a
I don't
full
know. It's
address.
Coit. It's not.
Let's
that
look it up.
Avenue, Drive, Road, Parkway, Boulevard, or anything like that. So I don't. Is Coit a new term for road?
These fucking Gen Zers, man.
I live on 1634 Road, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Anyways, 1634 Coit, Grand Rapids, Michigan was once a popular restaurant called Isaac's that opened shop in the mid-90s. After the owner Isaac died from lung cancer, his widow and son kept it running for a few years before ultimately closing down and selling the building in the early parts of 2014. A strange couple in their 40s purchased it shortly thereafter with the intention of turning it into a coffee shop. They painted the exterior, put a lamp in the middle of the building, taped garbage bags over the windows, and that's how it has sat until present day.
Oh, it's an avenue.
It was the fall of 2015 when weird stuff started happening. It was not too uncommon to see 2 or 3 SUVs pull up to the premise, bring in a group of young children, and then see the adults leave but never catch sight of the children again. The reason I'm posting this is because I was just walking my dog past the building tonight when I saw a kid about 10 or 11 years old pull down a corner of one of the garbage bags taped over the window and proceeded to pound the glass as if trying to get my attention. I pulled out my camera to get a pic, but right before the flash went off, he was seemingly pulled away by someone. I stood around for several more minutes, but the building seemed empty from that point forward. Police were called, showed up, flashed their lights in the window, and didn't see anything and just took off. No one is taking this shit seriously. I'm telling you, something nefarious is going on here. This was reposted from 4chan to Reddit about 5 years ago, and one of the comments says, per the Kent County Property Lookup, it's owned by an LLC called Humanix, but they could not find any further information on the company.
Yo, this house is creepy.
Oh, did you look it up on maps?
Yeah.
Post a picture real quick. I'm lazy. I don't want to look it up. I'll look it up on maps.
Yeah, a quick Google search. Humanix LLC is a dissolved company, and the company type was Domestic Limited Liability Company, and they were based out of Rockford, Michigan.
This house is like messed up looking.
What's the house?
I posted a picture of it.
It's for sale right now.
Oh, it's an unclaimed business.
This estimate on Zillow is $274,800.
Please do not state that business is on sale. The last thing I want to do is have somebody on the
I'm already putting my credit card in.
Be like, I'm gonna buy that, and then I'm gonna keep the tradition going.
No, the house. Not
Having
the business.
kids?
Oh, the house.
Yeah, the house is for sale.
I thought you were
1634 Coit Avenue Northeast.
LLC, because it says Humanix is unclaimed.
It's a corner house. It's quite cute, you know? Too bad the house is crooked. What year was that posted?
Well, it was reposted to Reddit
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah, and it was dissolved in 2020. So I can read their annual statement from 2017.
It looks like it was dissolved not too long after this post was made. Maybe the jig was up.
What's the rest of the post where they were talking about it? He said he found more.
A couple other things I found. The picture in the post is definitely 1634 Coit. Here's the closest angle matching the picture in street view. The picture is not from Google, as you could tell by the fact that it's at night and not taken from the road, but the parking lot adjacent to the building's lot. Google image search brings up nothing, leading toward the person who posted this being a local or at least someone who was physically there and took the picture. It's not really a picture that would just be floating out there for someone to grab and use to make a story. Now, whether they were trolling and just making it all up about the kids, or whether what they saw was genuine, or if they're crazy and imagined the whole thing, I have no idea. I imagine if he called the police and they had a look, there would be some sort of a record of that call within the GRPD. I can't say if that would be a publicly available record or not. A big step in establishing the credibility of the story would be to find out if the police did indeed respond to a call at 1634 Coit around either late at night on August 19th or around midnight August 20th, which is when that story was apparently posted. If they didn't, then we can safely say that this story is fake. If they did, it would lend some credibility to it, but ultimately, we only know what the person thinks he or she saw the other night. So that's up to y'all. If any of you three guys or any listeners want to try to delve into the credibility of the story.
Yeah, what was the story? I'm not gonna lie, I was not paying attention to the original story.
Fuck you, dude.
Something about little kids being dropped off in a van. Wait, whoa, after 2019, I got renovations done and all the trash bags were removed.
Okay, well, I think we can... Let's switch gears from Michigan.
How the hell did you just come across Michigan? Like, you're just like, oh, Michigan, guys.
What?
Like, why did you just choose Michigan? You're just like, oh yeah, let's find something from Michigan.
No.
Oh, okay.
So, when I last had these dipshits in this call, we talked about some of the folklore and urban legends we had in Sweet Home, Alabama. So now that we have a fourth person here from the same state,
That's me.
would we like to continue to expand on that?
Alright,
Well,
anyways,
like
for the listeners, third.
Oh my god. God damn fucking chips. Anyways, would y'all like to expand a little more on the Alabama folklore and superstition and stuff? Moose, I don't think we went through the entirety of the document that you wrote up.
Oh, fun for you.
Chop, have you gone through your story of the really big creature behind your house yet?
That was a good, actually very good to bring up. I'm pretty sure I had a story about that already written.
And you know what? Fuck it. Staying true to the format of today's episode, sharing stories from online, I'm gonna give the audience of Baconspiracies a very first look at one of my personal stories. Hell, you can take this with a grain of salt if you want. You don't have to believe me, but they've brought it up, and I do want to share it. I shared this with the denizens of Reddit about this time last year on r/humanoid encounters. And it is the tale of my buddies and I repeatedly encountering a humanoid we simply referred to as Big Boy. About 2 years ago, I lived in an old house outside of city limits in Alabama. I have since moved back to this house. Wild hogs here are considered a nuisance at this part of the country, and thus are year-round game. Now, the land's not mine. We are renting, but it is legal hunting ground. So, at the time, my landlord gave me and my friends permission to take care of any hogs we came across. So a lot of the time, especially during the winter when this encounter took place, I was on my back porch with a cigar and a gun, either by myself or with company. This land is not very clear. In fact, we've only got about, if I walked outside right now, we'd have about 10 feet from the porch to the tree line. And then it all goes down a hill and the brush gets thicker. So our hunting, when this happened, was just being quiet and looking for beady eyes of hogs in foliage when we heard rustling. That's kind of what you do whenever you do night hunting, because hogs' eyes are really reflective. You can just listen for rustling in the brush and, grunting and shit. Kind of fucked up that I was... I've since taken on this whole pig avatar moniker, and here's a story about me hunting for hogs. It's I'm higher evolved than these. But all that being said, one night during my porch sitting, I heard some rustling. I started scanning the woods for this hog. I did not find a mirror, and eventually did come across a set of white beady eyes. They weren't a hog's eyes though, because these were eye level with me. As my eyes continued to adjust, the rest of the creature started coming into view. It was tall, thin, and had long, spindly arms and legs. Its entire body was completely black. I couldn't make out any other facial features besides the eyes, but what I could make out was this thing was actually a good ways down the hill behind my house.
Was it on all fours?
No. 2 legs. So the fact that it was still at eye level with me meant that it was likely around 10 feet tall. It started up the hill, moving towards me, and I had this feeling in my gut that 45 caliber bullets probably weren't going to do much here. So I slowly collected my things and headed back into the house. And what I remember and what I shared with the people here was that it didn't make any sound as it moved, other than the slight crunch of leaves. As it climbed the hill, it somewhat stopped at the tree line and turned and walked along the edge of it. And as it moved, it bobbed and lurched a bit, kind of like how chickens walk. The most terrified I'd been in a long while. This wasn't the only encounter. My hunting buddies and I all saw it several times, walking through the trees a good bit away from the house, sometimes turning to look at us. my roommate that moved in later that same year had once walked outside and saw it right up against the porch, looking down at her. And I talked to her after this had happened. Well, after I'd posted this to get more information. And what she said, she confirmed no features other than the eyes, but there were like sunken in spots on the face where eyes should be, or not where eyes should be, but where other features should be, like nose and mouth and junk. And it didn't look at her like with aggression. It looked at her like it was curious, like when you're holding like a piece of meat and a dog wants it. It like tilts its head to the side. It never tried to attack anyone or even acted aggressively, so we eventually stopped being as scared and started calling him Big Boy. And I've talked to a couple other people about this, and they said the behavior matched something called a California Dark Watcher. But the dampener on that is I live across the fucking country from California, so I don't know what the hell it's doing here.
Well,
But I know I saw it.
you know, it could also be a Wendigo.
Yeah, it was probably an Alabama white tweaker.
That's a very big tweaker. I did
It's
not
all
know we
black,
had
though.
Andre the Giant here.
Wouldn't the Wendigo have shown some form of aggression?
No,
It's
some
not a
Wendigos
Wendigo.
just stop.
So do meth heads.
I can fucking tell you on Wendigo.
So, Chop, have you seen it since you moved back?
No, I was gone for over a year, and when I moved
So you
back,
saw a shadowy, easily 8 foot tall, vaguely humanoid
Yeah.
creature.
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
yeah,
Oh,
that's a Wendigo.
I know him. His name's Carl.
His
Carl
name's Carl.
Ray.
I went to school with him. No, Wendigos have been known to be seen. Sometimes they don't have the antler features. Sometimes they can have other features. They just take on the representation of animals. And so therefore, you could have seen a Wendigo in mid-transformation back to human form.
Huh? I mean, you know
Wendigo.
more about this than I do. You have Native American heritage.
Well, not enough to speak fully factual, but I am doing a lot of research while you've been talking because I wanted to know.
So I'd have to find it again. So I'm not gonna. You guys aren't gonna see it live, but I am going to post a picture of this in post. If you go down into the comments here, there was an artist that streams on Twitch called Cryptgeist that does horror-themed art and such. And she reached out to me and asked if she could have permission to draw this creature on stream and narrate my story over it.
You have a photo?
And it was an entire stream. I have a photo of that stream. I'd have to go find it again. But I'll post the full image over the audio in the podcast, and I'll let you guys see it afterwards. And I will even link Cryptgeist's channels so that you guys and listeners here can go check her out, because it's really cool stuff, especially after watching
my.
the stream where this was drawn.
Dude, there's nothing more beautiful than listening to the fucking Flight of the Valkyries and eating catfish.
What the what?
Yeah, I'm eating a Southwest salad right now.
I'm eating chips.
You guys are all eating while we're on this recording?
Yeah, I was about to pass out.
Why do you think I haven't been saying shit this whole time?
I actually left while you were reading that story to go get some catfish.
Brother.
See, I don't think they look that similar, because really, it looks like the Dark Watchers are more
Dude,
humanoid
the Olsen twins?
versus what you saw.
Oh my. Wait, what if you saw the shadow people, the ones where you see in the corner of your eye?
Yeah.
Because I'm actually reading an article how they've gotten more violent. There's stories of the shadow people attacking people.
I just looked up a bunch of pictures of the Dark Watchers, and they look actually humanoid. They don't look like some deformed humanoid figure. They look like humans just clad in shadow.
What year did this happen?
Like 2020, 2021. Somewhere between there.
Oh, yeah, dude, that was literally just Donald Trump going through and trying to get out. You remember that South Park episode where
What?
Mr. Garrison was like running around after he lost the presidential race, and he was like running around, and I didn't lose the president. Yeah.
Oh my. Wait.
Oh, yeah, they're talking about my
We had a
cousin Carl.
chupacabra? Guys,
A chupacabra?
we had one spotted here in Alabama.
Where?
When?
I'm
How?
looking at 95.3 The Bear.
Why?
There's an entire. It's a reptilian version of it. Oh my.
If it's
Oh
reptilian,
my.
it's not chupacabra.
Well, I'm just reading an article, okay?
They saw
Don't
something else.
correct me.
They saw the velociraptor that inspired the Earth model you sent
The
earlier.
lizard-like creature with greenish gray skin, sharp spines or quills running down its back and a height of 3 to 4 feet is said to have large eyes and fangs and claws.
Large eyes, fangs, and claws. That's just my ex.
That's just Otis. He's my cousin. You dated Otis?
Oh my gosh, I dated Otis. Anyways,
Huh?
wow, yeah, there was police calls for it. Wait, guys, Guys, can I still tell a story about me sitting on my front porch one night?
Yeah, of
Go
course.
for it.
That I didn't think anything of it because I don't immediately think of to the unknown. When I see weird stuff, I immediately go to logical thoughts. But I was sitting on my front, and I live in a cul-de-sac, okay, and I'm just sitting there, and I have one street lamp.
You live in a sack, bro.
Yeah, I live in a sack. Yeah, I've been here for years, and I hear this.
Guess that's better than a closet.
Like, have you ever heard claws on asphalt? Like a dog, like a big
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I listen to it every night.
Oh yeah, that is true. You have a dog, but
I have a fucking skinwalker. That's what I have.
that is true. That is true. We should talk about that later on this
Okay.
podcast. But I hear this just, and I look and I see this massive coyote, like this solo by itself, bigger. It's like a medium size or bigger
Whoa,
dog.
what did you say?
Hey, wait, I've got a story to follow that one when you're done.
We can't say that word anymore, dude. That's
Gosh
fucked up.
darn it, Schlevvy. And it just trots past me, stops, stares at me in the light, and just keeps trotting, and then just disappears. In my brain, I thought, man, that's a big coyote hunting by itself. I guess he got kicked out of his pack. But the more I think about it, the more messed up it gets. Thinking about the fact that me living in a neighborhood on a golf course, why is there a lone coyote that
casual
big?
flex about how rich your family is.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
that.
pretty much.
I'll do it again. And just a little coyote just trotting through, just this messed up creature staring at me, not flinching or anything, and just continues to walk. And I don't mean he's small. It was not like an average size coyote. It was quite large.
Ever tell you guys about the time I talked to a deer and it understood me?
Okay, what the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna need an elaboration on this, Bobwhite. Hey, let's put a pin on your story for just a second.
Are we sure he didn't
that's
just
it.
take a little too much DMT or
Well, that's
something?
what I'm waiting to
Have
figure
you
out.
ever
So-
had the eerie feeling?
So
Have
you
you ever
guys
had the
know.
eerie
Hang on,
feeling?
hang on.
Bro,
Do
let
you
me
guys-
finish mine. All I
You
had
just
was like
said
one
you were
sentence.
done, bitch.
I was almost done. I had one sentence left, okay?
I'm gonna need you
Damn,
to.
that was a crazy last sentence.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
fighting. I'm gonna drive to all of your houses.
Like, see you try, bitch. I live in the ocean.
Live anti-tank caltrips reaction.
Have you ever had
Yeah.
that eerie feeling when you see something, everything in your body just freezes
Yes.
and your body just
Yeah.
ripples?
I ain't no bitch.
Okay, cool. That's what I felt when I saw the coyote. I never even thought about it with Noric background and all that. I never thought about the fact that it could have been a wolf. But I don't know, it just felt weird and like a sign, and it was really creepy. Anyways, you can go ahead, Schlip.
Yeah, so you guys know where that road
No.
that goes to Sokol Park?
Yeah.
Not Sokol Park, Kentuck Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the one that goes to the dam?
Yeah, the one that
Oh,
goes
okay.
down. You know that gas station that it's not a gas station, it's a convenience store.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need
before
we're
you-
gonna need a little bit more fucking concise description for the people that don't know what we're talking about.
It's a ghetto gas station. There.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give a concise description of where I'm actually at. I'm just wondering if you guys know where it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
basically,
what
I was behind that gas station. My dad had a friend that lived over there. Kind of has nothing to do with it, but his friend, just fun fact, has one eye, and his name's fucking Tony, and he's in prison right now for federal gun charges. But he's a cool dude.
What
One-eyed
does this have
Tony.
to do with the deer?
One-eyed Tony with federal charges.
One-eyed Tony, dude, motherfucker. My dad said one time that he literally fucking at one of the bars in town, he just fucking somebody bumped into him and he pulled his fucking gun out and put it up to their head and was like, "I will fucking kill you if you do that shit again." And they're like, "Dude, calm down." Anyways, that's kind of beside the point. I was going to pick my dad up from his house one day in 2020-ish, 2021 maybe. And I passed his house, and there's a weird cemetery and shit over there too.
Yeah.
But I passed his house, went to turn around, and there was a deer on my left side, behind me, kind of. And I just kind of looked at it, I said, and it it stopped and looked at me and froze. And I was like, "Hey man, it's all good." I was just casually talking to it, just entertaining myself. I was like, and I guess it was waiting for me to get out of the way, but I was like, "Nah, it's okay. You can." I didn't even wave my hand or anything. I just said, "Nah, it's okay. You can go." And then it just it didn't run. It just walked across the road after I said that.
I mean that's nothing. I speak fluent deer because I once told a deer you are going.
Maybe we should ask the deerologist, Mr. Moose.
Oh my God.
Mr. Moose.
That is antlerous just because I have antlers.
Maybe we
okay?
should ask the venison expert.
Antlers are communication devices. We know this.
So
God
I have
damn
just
it.
found an article. Oh
That's a
wait,
shot, everybody.
oof.
Yeah, that's a drink, everybody.
His name's not don't worry.
Shut the fuck up.
And there's two. Pork, my boy. I just found an article that Alabama has cases of skinwalkers actually killing people in Alabama.
That kind of ties
Yes.
into my story when y'all are done talking about this.
Okay, well, yeah. Let's let Bob White go first, and then
I'm
we'll
gonna
circle back to
legally
that.
change my name to Jangles the
His
Moon
story
Monkey.
probably has to do a lot well with this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get to that after. Go ahead.
So,
Get it,
based
Bob.
on what Moose just said, I'm now considering myself lucky because I'm mid-20s. When I was about 15, I was hunting out on the hunting property in not a tree stand, but what are they called? Like a shooting stand.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, I just hear like this. It sounded like something was choking. So obviously, I'm looking around because, I'm 15, I'm scared shitless. Like, I have a gun, but
Yeah, it was just me fucking your bitch.
Still horrifying.
yeah, it's still horrifying. So I'm looking around. This is probably around sunset, so I can see like half the field. The other half's covered in shadows. And I'm scanning with my binoculars, and I see this kind of like what Moose said, a slightly larger than normal coyote walking across the field. And I thought it was just choking on something,
Was yours ghost gray?
Kinda?
Like a whitish gray?
Yeah.
Like an old lady's hair?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's literally what mine looked like.
So I'm probably 75 feet away from it. This field's probably 150 feet long. And out of nowhere, it just stops and stares at me while it's making this noise. And it starts walking towards me because it must have seen like the glint off my binoculars or some shit like that. I don't know. But it doesn't matter why it started walking towards me because it did. So I'm getting ready. I'm getting my gun up because if it's coming towards me, fuck it, that thing's dead. But as I pull my gun up, get situated, and I'm aiming at it, it starts walking in the direction of the trail that I used to get out. So as sunset hits, I text the people I'm with, say, hey, I'm heading out because, I just saw this thing. Normally I don't do that. Normally I just hoof it. But after seeing that, I'm like, all right, if something happens to me, they have to know I'm on the trail. I'm not in the shooting house. So as I'm walking down the trail, I just find a sock that was not there when I walked in. So, and honestly, the sock scared me more than the coyote because that meant that someone or something came through there in between the time that I walked that trail and the time that I was heading out.
The cum sock.
Oh,
Damn it! I was about to. Fuck you. I was about to say that. I also forgot to mention I got that deer's number and absolutely fucking wrecked her guts later that night.
Whoa!
my
Whoa! Whoa! Was it worth it?
Yeah, well,
you got that deer media,
Yeah, I got fucking mad
Shit.
cow disease though.
chlamydia deer.
Let me get the
Christ.
digits.
Yeah, no, that's terrifying. So okay, so
It was actually pretty nice.
Probably the worst two parts were when it noticed I had a gun and it walked away because that meant it had some sort of recognition of what I had and what I was like planning to do.
Yeah, worst part for me was post-nut clarity. That was not fun. And having to mix up a Plan B and a smoothie for her the next morning. You know how expensive deer Plan B is? It's expensive. You know how hard it is to get deer to drink a fucking smoothie?
Okay, we should stop talking about deer sex for 5 fucking minutes.
All I'm saying is I'm not paying fucking child support to a bitch that literally doesn't have opposable
Shut
thumbs.
the
So.
Dad?
fuck up.
I don't know if you know this, but hooves don't allow you to work. So that would have been a lot of child support.
I hate the fact that I know what deer's mating sound like.
The worst part of that is I'm thinking about the regular show episode.
What, my ringtone?
No, the regular show episode where they go hunting and they get chased down by the half
And
deer,
they have
half
sex
human.
with a fucking deer. Yeah, I remember that episode. I'm sorry, keep going.
Yes, okay. So, Moose, what you were gonna go into? What's this Skinwalker or Wendigo crime statistic you were about to bring up?
Wendigo on Wendigo crimes.
Statistics are racist.
So I'm trying to figure out where this is in the article, but you know how on Google it shows you like a little snippet of the article, and it caught my attention. So it's all 6 members of the Moore family, as well as 2 guests, were found bludgeoned on the floor. 8 victims had severe head wounds from, and I'm trying my best to scroll through it because this is like a long article of just messed up stuff talking about multiple spottings of skinwalkers in Alabama. And I have not gotten that far down because I was listening to Bob White's story.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. We're talking about skinwalkers, and my dog is just staring at me.
His dog's like,
Arthur
oh, wait a
Stewart.
minute.
Well, for the listener's reference, the reoccurring joke is my dog's a skinwalker.
I didn't even know that.
It's not a joke.
But
Wait, what?
I was looking
What
at
do
you
you
like,
mean
hey, man,
reoccurring
shut the
joke?
fuck
This is
up.
the first time I've heard about this.
Yeah, it's the first time I've heard of it too.
Well,
Well,
different friend groups. I don't
back
know.
when I first got my dog, the reoccurring joke was she was a skinwalker. And I've seen her walk on her hind legs before, so I'm harboring a fugitive right now.
Enterprise, Alabama. You're welcome. I just got a location. That's it. This article is really lacking.
So any listeners in Enterprise, Alabama, start shouting out random names in the middle of the night if you hear noise outside your house.
Yeah. No, so here's a cool little trick. If you go outside into the Alabama wilderness and shit your pants,
And yell the real name that is referred to by the natives for skinwalkers.
no,
I don't know what that is, but we have a good friend that does know what that is, so
and he will not hesitate to say it.
he
No.
will not hesitate to say. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he's making a song where he says it a lot. I don't know if he's still doing that or not.
Pork, I have now found an account of a resident of Alabama talking about a story about how she has spotted a rake.
Like
the
from
cryptic rake?
the creepypasta,
Yes.
the fictional story.
She said it was a skinwalker, but everybody in the comments are telling that it's a 4-minute video. I really do not want to sit here and watch. And,
Yeah, no, we're about towards the end of this anyway. So
And what I'm reading in the description of this is she's explaining from 2012 a story of how she saw a skinwalker, or maybe it was a rake or whatever. And this woman looks horrified. She's showing videos. This is horrifying.
we could probably save that for next time. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed. Don't get used to having 3 people on at once. It doesn't happen a lot. Before we go, do y'all have any channels or projects going on that you would like to plug?
Yeah, like I said, go check out Bean Eating Bob White on Feet Finder.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Anyways, I'm still on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I'm still on YouTube and Twitter.
Here we go again. Yep.
I'm actually, I don't know if I told you, but I probably do. I talk about it all the time, but I'm about to start making little short films. I'm not gonna be doing like people-oriented short films yet, but I'm doing like kind of like scenery-oriented.
Perfect scenery short films for me to Photoshop Godzilla into.
What if I tease?
What if you shut the fuck up? How about that?
All right, I'll just leave.
Jesus.
What if we tease? What if we tease something real quick? Remember how I invited y'all to go stay in that cabin?
That's
You remember
true.
that
I did
conversation?
forget about that
Yeah.
cabin.
We're going to stay at a haunted cabin in an undisclosed location, and we are potentially going to film our experience. So stay
We can
tuned.
even talk about it on an episode of the podcast.
Talk about it on the podcast, and check out Southern Moose on YouTube. And you can follow my gaming channel at 64 Ounce Pork Chop. That's 64OZP0RKCH0P.
Wow, you made that very complicated.
Yeah, I know, but anyways, you'll find me there once in a blue moon. Currently, I have one video on there where I play Lethal Company with these guys right here, and some other friends.
I forgot about that.
And here in the near future, you can expect some group gameplay with myself, Schlevvy, Moose, and maybe even Bob White.
I'll be there.
And when I'm not playing games with other people, I'll probably be playing some horror theme type games, stuff up the Baconspiracies alley. One I have in the chamber is Forgive Me Father, which from what I've seen is a Doom clone, except it goes off H.P. Lovecraft lore. So I'm very excited for that. But until then, thank you listeners for joining us in the ritual of putting our proverbial snouts to the ground to sift for forbidden mushrooms on the path less traveled. And as always, be the cryptid that you wish to see in the woods. Have a good night, everybody.